Hi guys, welcome to University Hustle Demi Hustle Edition. This is where you learn what local entrepreneurs do on their daily hustles. My name is Renyi, I'll be your host for today. I'll be bringing you on an engaging conversation with the man of many hats, the man with the amazing catchphrase, Jangan cakap abang tak payung. And without further ado, let's dive into today's episode of Grow Your Product Range Like a Pro. And here is Nigel Sparks.
Hi,
Hey
hi
bro,
Renyi.
how are you doing?
I'm great.
You doing
I'm
good?
great. Good to
Okay.
be here. Good to be here.
You seem a little bit low energy as compared to your usual self. Right? Am I striking fear in you?
No. I guess this is also me lah, right? I think a lot of times, maybe the videos that we post out, I'm always high in energy, but there are also, I guess, the more normal me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll go with this. All right. I think a lot of people want. I think a lot of people already know you.
Yeah.
All right, within your circle. But I think for the sake of others who might be hearing you for the first time, let's talk a little bit about your backstory, your OG story, your origin story.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe in the next 5 minutes or shorter, tell me a little bit about how you started.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of stories, a lot of ups and
Yeah,
downs.
yeah.
Try to keep it as simple as possible so that our audience gets the gist of it. But
Okay.
today we'll be focusing on your current day successes.
Okay.
Right now it's just
Yeah.
how you started.
Okay. I guess I'll bring you guys through my life in 5 minutes. So who I am, right? I am Nigel. Never the best in class. Lazy. Don't want to study. Don't like to study. And found my passion when I was doing my internship. So I interned at the place where I shop the most. They sell hip hop clothes, and I really found. I guess I found my calling, my purpose to serve others.
How old were you at that time?
At the time, I was what 19,
Okay.
18, yeah,
Just finished college?
yeah.
Going through college?
During
Yeah.
college,
Yeah, okay.
during college diploma, and so I never knew what I wanted to do in life. And my lecturer actually questioned me like, "Where do you wanna intern?" And I had all sort of different places, and she called me in and be like, "What is all this?" And then I said, "I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like." I think the reason why I'm sharing this part of my story, I think, is because a lot of people don't know what they want, don't know what they like,
Especially at that young age.
especially when you're 19, 18, 17, right? So she asked me, you dress very, very fashionably, right? So where do you shop your clothes? And I said, this place. And then she said, why don't you work there? Because I took retail during diploma. So I said, okay, never thought of that, but let me give it a go. And I went there, and it changed my life. I enjoyed working. I became a workaholic. I enjoy serving others. And from there, I was obsessed. I was obsessed with clothes, with stories, with talking to customers, serving others, and eventually I was offered to go back on a full-time job
Okay.
after college. And I was very happy, and I went back there to be their marketing executive lah.
Oh, wow.
Doing marketing for them at that time. And from there, the whole passion grew even more. And then I wanted to start my own brand, my own clothing brand. So from there, I started Negative, which is my first venture into business. That was in 2010. And then, I had my struggles. I was very young. In 2013, I started the Cap City. We can go into context details later.
Yep.
2010, I started Negative. And then 2013, I started the Cap City lah.
Was Negative still ongoing at that time when you started Cap City?
Yes, it was. I was still pushing the brand, but Cap City started off as a multi-brand headwear store where we carry international brands. That was in 2013, right? Then I have my ups and downs. I grew from one store in Subang, opened my second store in Brunei, third store in Sabah KK, and fourth store in Mid Valley. And every year I was opening a store until the fifth year of Cap City. I had a lot of challenges. And from there, I made one of my toughest decision during my career, which is to close 3 of my stores, except the one in Subang now lah. So I closed all 3 stores during 2018 and 2019, which is right before the pandemic. And from there, I had to refigure myself, where this brand is gonna go, where am I gonna take the business to, and I started doing TikTok, and that kind of changed everything lah. That's where most people know me from, which is TikTok, and of course, like you said, the catchphrase "Jangan cakap abang tak payung," and things just
Has been on the rise, I would say.
has been on the rise.
On that note, so as far as I understand, Cap City started off as a multi-brand business where you wanted to bring in brands that I guess you resonate with, brands that you like to serve the people. Now, this is something I read online, and please do correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You started off bringing in new era caps, and as a retailer, but somewhere down the road, they decided to open up their own store.
Yeah.
And that was when you decided to pivot. Is that a correct statement? Because it seems like you have other brands as well, and I guess along the way they would open their own stores. How did that change for you, and what triggered that? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing instead.
I want to think of something smart to say, but no lah. Actually, we really didn't have much choice, right? So I guess wherever you read that online is true, is that they came in, they took the distribution, and they started opening their own stores. So that kind of left us no choice but to, find other ways. And it took us a while, right? It took us a while. We were trying to look for other alternative brands to replace them. And but it wasn't quite working. And so it took us a while to say, hey, you know what? Like, since we had Negative, the brand, my own brand, and our caps sold pretty well over the years. So, and we can make good caps, and people love our caps. So then we started exploring, like, why not let's design something that is ours, that belongs to us, that is for our people, and let's see where that takes us.
Okay.
Right.
And this was when?
This was 2020, during pandemic.
So just right after you closed your outlets,
Yeah.
and then you were hit with this news, I guess.
Yeah, actually the news, it was already around. Like, we were still trying to coexist, right? Like, them distributing the caps to us, but it wasn't working because, like, it's a very niche market. So for us to share the same pie was quite tough lah, in the sense to be selling the same product. What was a blue ocean is now a red ocean. So then, we're talking about prices, and of course our margins were not as great as them.
Right.
So we thought about it, and really we come to a realization that what better margin than your own products and have better control. And of course at that time I was going through a lot of emotions, like, how could they do this to me? I was
Because you were supportive of them.
yeah, I was so emotionally attached to the brand. I was the first one that brought the brand into Malaysia, and it has always been somewhat of a dream to me, because I was a cap collector since I was 14 years old, and most of the caps that I collect are new eras. So when that kind of happened, I questioned a lot of things lah, like, where is the integrity? Where is the appreciation? But of course, I was young, and I understand that at the end of the day, it's still business.
Business is business.
Yeah, business is business. So I had to figure it out myself. And, I'm not going to lie. At one point, I had a lot of rage. I was very upset. I was very angry that, like, you feel stuck.
Yeah.
But I took all of that and questioned a lot of things, and got me to, why not let's do something that is ours? And the next thing when we do, it will be something that no one can take away from us, and which is our own brand.
So I'm curious. You designed your own shirts before that.
Yeah.
So why wasn't the transition to say, hey, look, and you said you already did caps. So why was there no connection to say, I was gonna start my own cap brand anyway?
Yeah. So that's funny. I guess it took us a while. I guess we're comfortable, complacent. Maybe we didn't have the confidence as well during that time, or you overlook it, And I guess you get people keep cheering you on, like, oh, so wow, you power, you got new era, wow, you power. You know, you kind of got, it became your belief system, and you get drifted away.
Yep, yep.
You
A
know,
little bit complacent, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Until we realized, like, hey, actually our caps are pretty good, and it always sells out. Until we started looking at some numbers and be like, wow, actually negative brought us a lot of sales.
Yep.
And we're struggling to sell these international brands, so why not let's just focus on what's good and throw away all the ones that are basically slowing you down lah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Do you think that at that time it was a lack of confidence in your own local brand and that you feel that an international brand would be much more desired?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did have that kind of thought lah, until I tried lah.
Okay, so would it be fair to say if we're just talking about Cap City, your first product is caps?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since this episode is talking about growing your range of products, have you expanded your range of offerings from under the name of Cap City?
Yes. So I'm wearing the shirt now. I'm actually wearing the pants and also the socks. So anything from head to ankle is basically Cap City lah.
Okay, when did you know that, hey, I've done enough caps, it's time to offer my fans a new range of product?
I think just reading from the comments, you know, because we do live every night, and our caps were selling very well to the point that they have so many. Like everyone has like too many caps, right? Then it's like, when are you gonna do T-shirts? You know, when are you gonna do pants or bags? I need this, I need that, and from there we picked up what resonated with us the most. You know, so it was definitely T-shirts first, and then we were doing T-shirts for a while until we started venturing into accessories and even rings and so many different things. But we still want to focus. Caps will always be our bread and butter and the focal product.
What people
of
come
the
for, lah.
brand.
I mean, it's
Yes.
Cap City after all.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Now, when you roll out a new product, obviously it's scary. Because as much as there's a demand, you do have an MOQ. If you want to print a shirt,
Yeah.
right, you probably need to print at least 100 to 200 just to get the production
Yeah.
going. How did you know that people were gonna buy it? And were there any marketing gimmicks that you had to push out to get people raving about it?
I think when you're like, say in my case, right, caps is our main dish.
Yep.
And you're trying to get side dishes around
Yeah.
it, just like burger and fries and coleslaw and
That's a good
whatnot, right?
comparison.
Just keep it minimal, lor. I feel like don't invest too much into it. Always try out the market first, because first of all you have to get your core strong, right? Your main product strong, which is our caps. So that once is stable, then t-shirts we can always, I think we tried with probably two different designs or two different colors for the first try, and that went really well. So no one asked you to like venture as many as the caps, right? Like,
Yep.
oh, let's have 100
thought-
t-shirts and minimum, like you say, there's an MOQ to each color. So I think we went pretty,
Conservative.
I guess, conservative, safe.
Okay, but that being said, do you think, or actually not, that being said, was Cap City already viral? And that's why it helped with selling
Oh
the
yes,
size?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't like, okay, I'm selling caps, I'm still building the brand and then I'm offering something new. So as what you said just now, I'm focusing on the core. People know us for what we are.
Yes.
And now that they have so many of my caps, maybe what's the average number of caps that people have of yours?
Oh man, it varies though.
Average? Two? At least two lah.
Okay, so it depends, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're like talking about hardcore fans, you can go up to 20, 30, 50.
Damn, okay.
And then if you're talking about a regular budget, probably, I would say 2 to 3 or even 5 lah. Yeah.
So once you have that and you understand that, hey, these people really like my stuff,
Yeah.
like my designs,
Yeah.
and I'm releasing the next generation of products.
Yeah.
Okay. So for people who are starting out, doing fashion in general, do you recommend saying, hey, look, I'm going to have a range of products, okay? Or focus on one thing and one niche only and be really known for it? And when you gain success for that, then only you release the other. What would your advice be when
I
it comes
think you
to
can
that?
go both ways. You can have a range and see what sticks. And then from there, you're like, oh, because maybe, for example, I don't know, I'm just simply coming up with example, right? Like I have caps to socks, right? Including t-shirts and shorts. And then maybe my circle, maybe because I'm a football player, say, right? Or I play football and I have a lot of friends who like long socks, for example. And then you realize like, oh, I can actually
Cater to that.
produce more of socks first after your first range of collection that you have dropped. Or you can go niche. I mean, I'm obviously very, very niche. I think you are as well, right? We focus on one thing and make sure that one thing is greater than all your competitors. And from there, you can have a little bit of freedom to experiment other products. So I think you can, either way, I think it is fine, you know, but I never believe in going just broad and always having everything. I think that's a very risky move.
Staying focused is what would be more, I guess, a sound advice lah.
Yes.
Now,
100%.
here's the thing. Your caps, some people, actually most people would say, as I'm reading this line, I didn't write this, costs as much as an arm and a leg. Okay? To be fair, I think the price range is starting from 150 to 250, around there in general. It is quite expensive for caps. Did you start off at this price range?
Yes and no. So the international brands that we were selling were definitely 200 and above.
Yes.
So from there, we kind of knew that there was a market already. Like people have the buying power, spending power, and people are not new to a 200 ringgit cap. But of course, there are still people who be like, wow, that's a lot. And like you said, it costs an arm or a leg. I guess we started off quite low. I think Cap City's caps, we started off around 120 ringgit first. If you consider that low lah. Well, compared to today, now we have a wider range. So we have 150, we have 180, 250, even 350, or even 10,000 ringgit. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think price-wise, I feel like you cannot please everyone lah. And for the work that we put in, we think that's what its value. And I don't think anyone else can tell us otherwise. Not to be arrogant, but I just feel like we are giving everything that we can, not just in terms of quality, but everything, the experience, the service, the after service, the packaging, the content, the values, right? Basically, all around, I feel, if, I always say this, if people say, hey, your caps are too expensive, I say, okay, then I hope you work harder to be able to get one if you like it. If not, there's plenty of other caps which are lower in price, which please feel free to explore.
Now that statement there can be quite controversial. It can come off as a very arrogant statement. Hey, you're not earning enough to buy my product. Right? Work harder. What if someone says, hey, look, you are not catering to the masses, right? Why are you creating products for the walawan, right? How do you respond to that? I mean, do you think it's coming from an arrogant point of view?
Of course not. Of course not. I feel like that's first of all, you want something, and that something has a price to it, and it's your job to figure it out if you want that particular thing. Again, there are a lot of lower price items out there where you can explore and buy, but you say, hey, but I like this one. Then I say, but this one is this price. If you're not willing, and this comes back down to maybe starting a business or chasing your dream, right? There is a price which people often ignore, often, choose to be delusional and be like, oh, no, I want the nice cars, I want the big house, I want to have a driver, I want this, I want that, I want freedom, I want happy family. I always tell, bro, there's a price to it. There's a price in everything you want, and including our caps. If you say, I love this KL cap and I want this colorway, unfortunately, this one costs 250. And you say, oh, but that's not something I can afford. Then I guess I'll come back to, bro, work for it. It doesn't come off as arrogant or this is too high. And to also another point that you mentioned, which I think is very important to talk about, why are you not catering to the masses? Because it was never meant to be, right? I as an entrepreneur, I'm very lucky to not want more. I do not want more. I think a lot of businessmen or women, entrepreneurs, they want everything. They want everyone. They want the masses. And that's just not who I am. I feel like we started off, the Cap City first design was a Budak Subang cap. And the reason why we started with Budak Subang was because I'm a Budak Subang. And we started from Subang Jaya. So instantly when we had the MOQ of the minimum, right? When we make Budak Subang caps, I said, I know 30 fellas will buy this already.
Yep. Okay.
Because I know there's 30 budak Subang who are very proud and will buy this. And that's how it all started,
Yep.
right?
It's community pride.
Correct. And I have the people in mind already, right? I said, oh, if I sell 30, I break even, and then the other 70 is a bonus. So let's just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to, you see, as success come in, right? As success approach us or arrive at our door, it's also quite tricky sometimes to have to, how do you say?
Manage the excitement, or
Yeah, manage the excitement, hold on to what you believe at first. And I want to keep that value, which is this was never meant to be for everyone. Yeah. I think when you want everyone to, so coming back to also like you said clothing brand, should someone start off everything, right, with shirts, t-shirts, shorts, pants, shoes, or do you do one thing great and be the greatest at it? I think I'm just somewhat wired that way, that like, sometimes we have discussion over certain collection. Like, oh, do you think this is too expensive? I said, but hey, don't forget we have also the lower price one too. So why can't we have a higher price collection? So it's just,
for people with a more delicate taste,
Yeah.
or more distinct taste.
I say you have good taste if you want more expensive items.
No.
But yeah,
Sorry. So now, is there ever a product that you launched but flopped?
of course.
Why did it? What is it, if you don't mind sharing, and why do you think it failed? Or did it need a second life?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it needs a second life. Sometimes we don't give failed product a second try. Maybe we can make it better. Maybe it was the rollout. Maybe it was the time. Maybe it was, a lot of different factors which we have to look into lah.
Do you mind giving an example and what lesson you've learned from it, and how, in this hypothetical sense, would you give it a second life when the time is right?
Okay, so for example, we did a cap RoboBill. We call it RoboBill because it's a hornbill, but it's in a robot form.
Okay.
So we call it the RoboBill. It's basically for Sarawakians,
Yeah.
right? That time, it wasn't the fastest moving item compared to the few that we had at that time, because we were not, I guess, popular, or we haven't gone viral yet. We didn't have as many people knowing us. So, but eventually we sold out everything, but it just took a longer time. And ironically, we are actually releasing that RoboBill again next month. And we've been teasing around, and everybody seems to want it right now, right? Only because we have more eyeballs.
Yeah.
So,
Then
was
go
it really
for-
a flop design? I don't think so. Maybe we didn't have enough eyeballs on it at that time.
You keep mentioning Sarawak, right? What's your affinity to Sarawak, and you opening up to
Sabah.
oh, sorry,
Actually, that was Sabah. Yeah.
What's your affinity with, I would say, the East Coast?
I don't know. We seem to have a lot of fans from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also because we had a store in Sabah last time, kan? So
Yeah, but what gave you the confidence to open in Sabah?
we had partner who wanted to bring Cap City over. We had
Okay.
someone who wanted to bring Cap City over to Sabah, and they became our partner lah in Sabah.
Okay.
So from there we kind of knew a bit more people, and we had some following, some regular customers.
Okay, I was gonna make an assumption that you were at one point growing up.
Yeah. A lot of people thought I was from Sabah, but no. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on a little bit forward into the branding and the marketing that you've built
Okay.
for Cap City. Let's go to the most obvious one. Why is your slogan "Jangan cakap abang tak payung"? And it's such a catchy phrase, right? Where did you get it from? Where's the inspiration from?
Okay.
And how did it pick up?
So right, I always say, I guess the other day Elaine said, you're a man without a plan. And I thought about it and be like, yeah, actually, a lot of the things you realize as we move on with this interview, you realize that I don't have a lot of plans. So everything kind of happened organically. First of all, I also want to make a disclaimer that Jangan Cakap Abang Tak Payung was not from me. I probably popularized it, but it was already there. I think a few people were using already. I guess it's, I don't know, can you say it's, they call it Kapasa or is it some like
It's a common phrase lah.
it's a common phrase lah, right?
Which means what specifically?
Which means I don't say that this is direct translate. Don't say that I don't belanja. I don't.
I'm not looking after you lah.
I'm not looking after you.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So payung can means many ways, like giving you a shelter, helping you with the rain, or even belanja lah, spending, right? So what happened was we wanted to give out a cap, and that cap happened. We happened to did that on Friday. So me and Liang, my other guy at that time, it was just the two of us, and I said, hey, let's make something interesting. Let's make a content. Let's put a cap outside of our store and see what happens. And I would say, and I asked him, I remember I asked him, I said, there's a phrase, what's that called? I said something, what, abang, what payung? At that time, I didn't know like exactly how the phrase go, and he was like, oh, yeah, I think it was called, I think it's jangan cakap abang tak payung, and then we kind of, I said, yeah, I think that's the line. Okay, so we'll end the video once we put the cap and we said, jangan cakap abang tak payung. And we did that. So I did a video on TikTok where I placed one cap right in front of the door and I said, siapa cepat dia dapat. I turned the camera around, I said, jangan cakap abang tak payung. Then I ended the video. And then we went back to the office. We said, okay, don't think about it. And Liang was quite worried. He was like, oh, what if people just stick without letting us know? I said, Liang, let it go. Like, this one, you memang want to payung, then you just leave it lah, you know? So, but then we timed it. I timed it. I said, okay, let's see how fast.
You had a CCTV, I guess? Or...
we didn't have a CCTV at that time, but we timed it with our phone. And within 8 minutes, someone pressed the bell. And then me and Liang was in the office. We were like, oh my God, could it be him? And I went and hold my phone and waited for Liang to go to the door and open the door, and it was him. He said, ini boleh ambil ke?
Oh, he was polite enough to ask. Okay.
Yeah, he asked first. So both of us scream and, high five, and, we were happy, so happy. And then he was sharing with us, oh, I saw this video. I was at Glenmary. I got my bike. I drove here straight. I ride here straight and came up and still here. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I got it. And that really changed everything for us.
That was an aha moment for you?
That was I wouldn't even say aha, but yeah, I guess aha. It was happy. It was fulfilled. Seeing him happy, and we said, okay, let's do this next week. And on Friday itself, we did the second one. We placed it downstairs by the road, and I think within 10 minutes, someone sprinted, like running, sprinted to go and get it. And we were like, oh my God! And then he came up. We exchanged stories, and then the third one, I think, was the one where I put a cap in front of Sunway Pyramid, and then a Grab rider came, and it was a girl. She got it, and that video hit 2 million views. So at that time, we didn't even call it Payung Jumaat yet.
When was this? When did this start?
So all this was during 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago lah. So 2022.
And have you been doing it every Friday since? Or?
Almost every Friday. We try to do it every Friday.
So you started off giving one cap, and then 2 caps.
Eventually, more and more people came, and we had to bring more caps out. And I guess some of you might have seen some videos where people are chasing out car, people are road blocking the whole entire road.
It became a little bit dangerous.
It became a little dangerous, I'm not gonna lie. So every time during life, I would also tell them like, guys, duduk dalam dulu, sabar, like try to not cross the road and come out.
Yeah.
We did one at my town, and people tried to chase out to the traffic, like when we were stuck at the traffic, like, oh my God, that was so dangerous. But it became a movement. It became a movement.
Almost cult-like, if I may use the word.
Yes, you may. Cult-like. And we just decided to... And
Why do you think that resonated with people so much, that they are, chasing you, I guess after prayers, right? On the Friday.
Yeah.
What do you think is that instinctive nature that humans have that you have unlocked? That makes people want to desire you so much?
That's so interesting because a lot of people say, you give free, sure, a lot of people come. People come for the free item. The fact is, it's not. People are here. I think to your question, I think you have some answers within your question itself. I guess this whole Payung Jumaat, we've unlocked something for people to chase, which is connection, a sense of belonging, a sense of excitement and fulfillment for them as well, a sense of achievement that I found him. and I'm the first or I'm the second, that maybe their life doesn't allow or enable them to feel that way, and they see us on videos and be like, hey, these are a bunch of people that I think I can have fun with
Yeah.
or share a moment with. And that's why so many people want to chase us, because it's some I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of them end up not getting any caps. They just want to take a photo or they just want to be part of it. It's like, it's okay bang, I datang sini untuk nak jumpa you sahaja. I just want to meet the crew. Even a photo is great, or a video is great. And I'm always so grateful and touched at the effort that they put in.
And the sincerity, I think.
Yeah, someone ran from Pasar Seni to find us in this one park that we were at, which was like 2 kilometers, I think. Was it 2 kilometers? And he ran because he was so excited that we were nearby. He couldn't get a Grab. He was like, oh my God, you know what? If I'm going to think again, I'm going to be late. So let me just run. And even though Payung Jumaat has ended, all the gifts have been given away, I felt his sincerity so much that I gave him my cap, and we even sent him back to Pasar Seni, and that video blew up, I think, 2-3 million views as well. And I think people could resonate to that because it's an act of kindness, and it's also, I guess, everything that we've mentioned lah, right? Effort, kind of like act of kindness, sense of belonging.
Yeah, a sense of belonging to the community.
Yeah.
Now let me turn this around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So, and I truly believe, and I know you to some extent, you really do this out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah.
However, people say that, yeah, but you have a camera following you around all the time.
Yeah.
You're obviously aware of it, and you are aware of your own actions as well. How much of it is for the camera? How much is it actual sincerity? And people will definitely call you out on that, I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
To that, do you think you could still have done the same in terms of success if you didn't document everything and you didn't post everything?
I don't think about that enough, Rennie. You know why? I feel like, again, back to I'm a man without a plan. I feel like people may question these things, but as long as I know what's real to me, then I don't think I have to worry so much about, of course we've gotten some criticism, right, about, this is all for the camera, they are different. I say, okay. Well, first of all, the person who's commenting in such way are not the people who's going to come to the shop and meet me and see if I really am who I am online. And I think there's nothing to hide and there's nothing to be explained. I think having a camera around me all the time for me is documentation, right? Documentary. People call me content creators, a content creator now because of the content I put out, but I don't create content. That's the thing.
Okay.
Right?
That's a very interesting thing.
I document the things that we do. So I always say we have a goal, a finish line. Our goal, our mission is to be, say, the biggest brand, right? Biggest cap brand or the best cap brand in the world. And we have a plan trying to reach to that goal, but whatever happens in between, we want to document everything, right? So meeting the fans and giving back to the fans and making our fans happy is the goal, but it's documented. And any moments that we think is precious to us or happy to others, we put that up online. So it's not so much about creating content. Like someone in Singapore, he didn't manage to get a cab, and he said, "Bro,
Wait.
yeah,
Did you do Payung Jumaat in Singapore?
yeah,
Not just one, right? I believe.
yeah, we did multiple
Several times
already.
So you have fans in Singapore as well.
We have fans in Singapore as well. We have
Awesome.
people chasing us in
Awesome.
Singapore.
So
as
yeah, what
well.
happened in that Singapore incident?
And the guy said, "Gua nak topi lu, bro, boleh ah?" I said, "Okay, go ahead." Right? And
He
then-
found you were you shooting at that
no,
time?
we
or-
were doing Payung Jumaat, but
Okay.
ended already.
Okay.
So he wanted that cap I was wearing. And that video hit like 2-3 million views. So I'm just trying to give context in the sense that my camera guy is with me all the time recording. And did I do that for the camera, or did I really wanted to give him? Obviously, I really wanted to give him, and I've given a lot of other things without the camera on. I wanted to remind people that as well. A lot of, I guess, good things or even bad things are off camera. So I don't question. It doesn't worry me that if I'm doing this for the camera or not.
If I may make an observation, I think that your, allow me to say the word content,
Please.
do inspire people, right?
Yeah.
Because again, true sincerity shines through. Someone who is
Yes.
hamming it up in front of the camera, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long can you do that, right? I always
Exactly.
say, how long can you fake your personality? And it'll be very tiring for you. You can do that for 2 years, 3 years. Can you do that for 10 years or not? Or 15?
Is
or
that
for
what
the
you hope
rest
to do?
Or for the rest of your life. And say if you can pretend for the rest of your life to be a great person, I guess then you're a great
Yeah,
person already, bro.
exactly.
And then you're
Good
no
take.
longer pretending anymore, isn't it?
I love that.
And then I think people who bash people who do good on videos, I always feel like it's such a mean thing to do, because I feel like there are so many bad content as well. But people seem to enjoy the bad ones. They don't question the bad ones. They find it funny.
Yep. But then they question the genuine
And
ones.
they question the genuine one. But of course, are there people who are faking it? 100%. But that's up to them. Am I the same as them? Of course not. Will I prove it? I don't have to. So you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I feel like at the end of the day, my fans, if they see me enough, they'll know that they will defend for me. And that's why we have built such a strong fan base. Like whenever people come up with a false accusation, right, about us, our fans will come in to defend for
They will
us.
defend you. I think that's great. That's a true representation of what a strong brand is like. So I mean, from an observer point of view, I think, and hearing you explain your point of view, I think that you are building a legendary brand, whether you know it or not, and I'm sure you do. But through the sincerity of it and seeing it from a point of, I'm not generating content, I'm merely living my life, and,
Yeah.
but I'm documenting it and sharing it as a form of positive attribute
Yeah.
to the public. I think
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, you have I see the irony here, whereby you have a brand called Negative,
Yeah.
and you have a very positive brand like Cap City that spreads joy and just overall wholesomeness. All right, I think we're going to take a quick break and we're going to listen to what Unified Business has to offer. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Being your own boss can feel like a big mistake. When you need to figure out everything yourself, even though you don't know what to do. But with the right partner, it can feel like the best decision you made. Because no matter what problems you face, we will always find a way. These are the business owners who have grown their business with our help.
And we're back. And this segment is called Podcast Takeover by Cap City.
All right.
Okay, so Nigel, this is your, I guess, 15 minutes of product feature. Why don't you tell me what I'm looking at right here? Because this stuff looks really good.
Yeah. So this is our 10th anniversary collection. So there's actually 2 collections. Why we did 2 collections this anniversary. Okay, wait, to give you guys more context. So every anniversary, starting from the 8th anniversary, which is where we pivoted to become our own brand, we will push ourselves to, I guess you can say...
Step up the game?
Step up the game, produce the best with the packaging and all that. So 8th anniversary, we had a special packaging. We used wood with acrylic. And then, yeah, he has one. And then 9th anniversary, we used metal box. And 10th anniversary, we were struggling actually. Like, what do we do for 10th anniversary? Because the Big 10, right? You want to do something great. And we find ourselves struggling. Like, do we do something that is very out of the world? but then that might not bring, I guess, convert into sales, right? And then if you do the simple ones, which most likely will sell, but it doesn't fit the soul.
Your soul, specifically.
My soul specifically. And I feel like I always tell my team, whenever we find ourselves in this position where we're struggling between A or B, try and ask yourself, why not do both? So we actually came up with two collections. One is, I guess you can say, for the masses, which is all black. We have 10 designs in all black with a Ratan Box, which is the one that you're looking at.
Can I?
And yes, please. So this one we have 10 different designs, all in black, that comes with a Ratan Box lah. Let me just pick this up. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Ratan Box. So this one retails at 315. Was it? Oh, 365, sorry.
Not just the box, right? With the cap
With
as well.
the cap and the box. So it comes in a set lah.
That's very nice looking.
Yeah, we wanted something that is timeless, something that feels antique, something that it already feels old so that it doesn't go out of time, right? Something that your mom will look at and be like, hey, this is pretty nice. Let me put my jewelry inside, you know? So we came up with the idea of using rattan instead of just wood or steel lah. Actually, we wanted to use glass and all, but it's logistic-wise, it's just not the smartest. So I didn't want to take too much risk as well during the 10th anniversary because I wanted to make sure that is unique on its own, but at the same time, you don't face too many challenges when it comes to shipping it online.
And rattan is very Malaysian.
Yes, rattan is very Malaysian, so we went with rattan instead, right? Then, the one that fits the soul is the one that you're seeing around this cap, which is we have 10 different caps. They're very colorful, as you see. And the embroidery goes from one side of the panel all the way to the other side of the panel. All right, so every cap has its own story and has its own element based on the state, right? So for example, JB, we have Harimau, we have the pirate ship, we have a wow, and it goes on and on lah, right? So every cap has a different color, and only 10 sets were made.
You mean 10 of one of each design?
Correct.
Wow.
So if you want to buy it, you have to buy the whole set.
Okay.
Right. So we call this collection the TOT. TOT collection meaning to say 10 of 10, and it also means the test of time.
It stands the test of time.
Stand the test of time. So this whole collection includes a coffee table as well.
Yep.
So it retails for 10,000 ringgit, and only 10 sets were made.
But I heard you sold out most of it?
Yeah, we're left with I think 2 more sets of this. So
Okay. Good job, man. That's amazing.
yeah, I told the team, I said, even when I said I want to sell this for 10,000, everyone was a bit like, shocked, which is not a bad thing for business. You want to have the shock factor, and at the same time, sometimes when you go this crazy with your design and your colors and pricing, be prepared to not sell any. So for me, I was prepared to not sell any of this. Even if it doesn't sell, I feel like I want to be able to look back during 15th anniversary or 20th anniversary and be like,
You tried.
we top ourselves, right? That was a great collection, and we had fun designing. Like this one is N9, and you had all the Minangkabau around the whole 4 panels, right? And then we have Sabah, we have Keluarga, KL, you have the whole KL skyline on the cap. We have A-Star, we have an eagle, and also Padi on the side, right? So all of these caps are made of corduroy, which we had a lot of challenge doing the embroidery on this fabric. And the time that was invested into this, that's why again, when people try to justify the price, it's like, sometimes how do you justify the price? Because
It's an artwork.
the sleepless nights that we go through, the amount of rework and the amount of effort in communicating what we want with the factory and making it happen, I don't know how to price that, So for me, we priced it at 10,000 also because it's the 10th anniversary. And Yeah, and I was ready to not sell any, and ironically, we sold quite a few.
And from what I heard, you sold one on the night of preview itself.
Yes. One of our regular customer, a very hardcore customer, he instantly wanted it, and he instantly paid for it.
Wow.
Yeah. And on top of the caps, we're not even talking about the coffee table as well. So we had to learn how to make a cupboard on its own.
Did you make it
Yeah,
with your own two hands?
Oh, no, not me. But we were very involved with the whole process
Yep.
of how to craft out the coffee table and everything else from material, the engraving. How do we place the caps, which I believe they will put a photo of our collection. Everything was cap-centric, thinking about how would one person have this coffee table and have the set displayed in their homes. So all that thought was poured into it.
How long was this project? Like how far ahead did you have to think of, launching this?
Not too crazy. I think 3 to 4 months.
Oh, okay.
3 to 4 months, because we struggled the whole, I guess, from 9th anniversary to 10th anniversary is a year ma. So for the 6 months after the 9th anniversary, we were already just struggling on what should we do. Like, should we do something simple? Should we do something different? How should we, top ourselves? I think that was also part of the work, right? Just deciding. And as soon as we got the idea, the concept of like, okay, let's have 10 sets of this crazy collection that is for our hardcore customers or people who really appreciates our work and who can afford it. And then have another collection, which is the one with the Ratan Box. Yeah.
And that, as I understand it, has sold out.
Most of it. The Keluarga has sold out already.
Oh, there were other designs.
Yeah, there were
How many
other
sets of designs? are
10
there?
as well.
10 as well.
10
okay,
as well.
okay.
So the same 10, but in black.
In black. Got it. So you can still get it
A couple.
depending on the
with-
design.
Depending
Now,
on the design.
With the states, how do you choose which state to represent? Or is it because, from sales, I have more people buying from that state, hence I want to...
I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely one factor. And the second, because we have a few more other designs, we have not covered the entire Malaysia yet.
Yes.
So really based on demand and also what we think would make the collection better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how involved are you? How involved are you in the designing process?
Oh man, a lot. I'm still very, very, very hands-on and very involved in everything. I think marketing, design, materials, video editing, content. That's why I'm called the man of many hats, because I wear many hats.
But I think at one point you can't be the Pau Ka Liao boss. You can't do everything.
Yes.
Has that reached that point yet? Because I think we were suggesting that you should try out, podcast hosting. You're like, no. One too many things for me, right? In terms of business wise, obviously you're designing the hats, you're overseeing the marketing. You need to let go,
Yeah.
right? How can you show if any of these hats here you're not as involved and it's actually credits to your team?
Definitely. So this one was drew by our illustrator Ish, most of the design, and then we have Eileen and Kim that goes through all the little tiny details, like what can be embroidered, what cannot be embroidered. This is too small. This is too big. Color selection. Most of the merchandising is done by Eileen, but I'm always around Eileen, so we're always just exchanging. Like, what do you think? Do you think this color is too bright? This is too soft. I think we should do this. We should do that. I am involved, but I'm not with this collection per se. I'm not hands-on.
Yep.
But of course, going to the factory, visiting the samples, even for the coffee table as well. So yeah, I guess it depends how. For this collection, I mean, of course, most other collection, of course, I have to give credit to the team, but I'm still next to them.
Okay, it's good to hear that it's a collective effort.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
a
just
collective effort, yeah.
Nigel alone in this
Of course,
process.
of course.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else to showcase?
No, I think wait, I do have one more that since this is a Cap City
Yes,
takeover
it is all you.
podcast.
Yeah.
Are you
Reveal.
ready?
I'm
Are you
never ready
ready?
for you, man. I saw it.
Yes. So let me take this out just in case of the reflection. So this is MBL Burger Lab cap that we custom made for you.
That is so cute. And there's
And-
Burger Boy on there.
Yes,
as well.
you have the Burger Boy on it. This colorway is all matching to your current
our
color. Current color.
Thank you so
So the
much.
cap that you're wearing is the older
Old one?
edition. This is the new one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And,
Okay, I'm
um,
gonna switch it up.
And we actually made 100 of it already. It's on
Okay,
the
let's
it's on,
go, bro. Let's
it's
go.
on the
let's
way
go.
to your stores.
Let's go.
So jangan
Wait,
cakap abang tak payung.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna. Please do not take a picture of a video of my hair right now.
Shoot me first.
Bro, this is amazing.
Yeah, I hope you like it.
I love it.
We've been working on this already for a while until we met your team
Don't
the
be
other
jealous,
day.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay, I can retire this already. This is for continuity's sake. It makes sense, right?
Yeah. For the next segment.
That's
Nice.
amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you so
welcome,
much.
you're
And it's
welcome.
very comfortable.
Yes, this one is we call it the relax fit. So
Yeah.
it's not so.
I think it's good for work.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
when
thought
serving
about it.
customers.
We saw your staff wearing it. We're like, okay, next one has to be the lighter one. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much.
You're
Can
welcome.
purchase
This one not for sale.
Okay.
For your
So you have
staff
to come
only.
and work at my
Work-
Burger Lab to
work
get
at
it.
Burger Lab to get it.
Thank you so much, man.
No
You're
worries.
making me a little bit emotional here. I said I wanted to make you cry. Now
Yeah.
you're making me cry.
No, but thank you. You know, you gave us gave me a black card, and I think you and your team, Sasha especially, have been very supportive of what we're doing. A lot of our events, you guys come in and support us. Even gave us free burgers to our customers, and I think it's amazing. You know, it's wonderful. Yeah.
I think local businesses, we have to be there for one another.
Yes.
Small or big,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we're all in different part of our journey. And
Yeah.
if we can't see ourselves rising together, then who else is going to do that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we're going to take a break and we'll see you in 5 seconds.
Being your own boss can feel like a big mistake. When you need to figure out everything yourself, even though you don't know what to do. But with the right partner, it can feel like the best decision you made. Because no matter what problems you face, we will always find a way. These are the business owners who have grown their business with our help.
All right, and we're back for the second half. Let's talk a little bit about how you started, and of course, you had to pivot because New Eras New Eras opened up their own brand.
Yeah.
At that point, they would become your competition. All right, so I want to talk about competition. I feel that in every industry, competition is around every corner.
Yeah.
From just being in the same industry, from people who directly copy your design. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that. How do you view competition in the market? Is it a healthy one? Is it one where there's a lot of behind the scene drama? And how do you feel about people copying your design if that has already happened?
I think competition is, like you say, is always is needed. If not, then you're complacent. And I always say, people ask, who's your who are your competitors? And I don't mean to sound very
Full of yourself or arrogant?
Yeah. But I always say the only competition is myself.
Yourself? Yeah, I can see that.
Because the thing is, if of course there are times where you look at maybe your competitors or maybe brands that are similar or very similar to yours or in the same industry, if it ever makes you feel anything, it says more about yourself than them. It means that you're threatened. It means that deep down there are something that you felt like you could have done better, or oh my God, they took that idea and ran with it. How come I didn't? Because I had the same idea. So it always reflects who you are and what you're feeling at that time.
Yep.
So as soon as you quickly recognize that and you work on yourself, on your own brand, then eventually you have no time to think about competition anymore or your competitors anymore. So for us, of course, our schedules are very packed and every week we have new releases. So really, we don't have much time to think about our competitors, not in an arrogant way, but more like, okay, let's just really focus on what we want. Because sometimes, yes, looking at your competition is good because you kind of gauge where the market is and what other people are doing. But I rather not know.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I rather not know so that I could be different and I could do what fits us the most. And I will always let our customers and fans somewhat be the indicator and not the market. Because I think we're here to serve our fans and not their fans. They can have their customers, it's fine. Like everyone can eat in the same room. You know,
It's a
there's
huge
enough
market, yeah.
there's enough food on the table. So I don't really see competition. I don't prioritize it that much, and it doesn't really affect me lah.
Great answer. But have people or have other brands copied your design or copied your style?
Here and there, but they are not like big brands yet. Which they also openly say they are inspired. So
How do you feel about that?
I feel like, if I have to be honest, I think it's great that we inspire people, right, to do their own thing. And there's this new term that I learned recently, like don't copy and paste, copy with taste. I think that's quite similar with when you copy, you have to put your own twist into it. You
You need
have
to put that on the
your
cap, by the way.
right. I think that was quite a good one. Copy with taste and put your own flavor into it. And as soon as you do that, right, eventually you will find your own identity. You will find your own style, and that could be completely yours. So why take from me when you can have your own and I can have my own?
Absolutely agree.
You know, we do have a couple of imitation ones, like selling really cheap ones, like $30, $20 on Shopee and all that. So those I brush it off a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. The quality is obviously not as great.
Yep.
I have seen people bought it before. I don't know. It's nothing new to me. So I guess they say what? Imitation is the
Sincerest form of flattery.
flattery. Yeah. So,
Okay,
know.
I'm glad you have that take.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about doing your own thing, and you know, what's the word? What's the saying? Marching to your own pace, lah, right? Now, would you say that there are unconventional strategies that you have employed in your business that others or your competition might shy away from? What would be, something that you would say, hey, look, people don't dare do this, but I do it, and it has shown results.
Yeah, that's a great question. By being ourselves.
Are you saying that other brands aren't themselves?
Yeah, a lot of brands are trying to be like other brands. We're not trying to be other brands. We're trying to be ourselves. And if you guys watch us live, you know we have our own chant, our own little songs. We have like Kita Gang, and we will sing a little song for each customer who orders something online. And I think a lot of people are shy. The word is shy. They are shy to show their personality. They are shy to say anything. They just want to be working on the brand and let the brand be the face. But at the end of the day, the brand itself is just products. And people who run the brand are humans, right? So I think, to your question, what are the maybe some strategies that we've applied? I don't think we didn't plan it. It happened to be that way, that I feel like the best way to differentiate yourself from the market is to have a voice, have a different opinion, have a different taste, and show yourself as much as you can, because that itself would give soul to the brand. I always feel like a lot of these companies and brands got no soul, right? They are always just selling. Look at this. Oh, this one comes with side patch. It comes with this feature. Like, those are features. Those are great to talk about, but it should not be your main message. It should not be your main voice. Nobody wants to be sold to.
Yeah,
you know.
agree.
And I think one other thing is, I believe that people like to buy from people who they like, right? Like, you will buy something from your friend because you feel more comfortable engaging with them. Of course, if that's a good friend, they don't cheat you and all that. But generally, people like to buy from people who they like. So
And trust.
trust. So we put ourselves more out there, and people seem to feel like they know us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he saw me from far. He was like, "Oh my God, Nigel!" And it's like, it feels like we already know each other for years. But it's only because he's been consuming our content and we've been putting ourselves in front of the camera, sharing stories, talking about our products or our journey. And I think that's something that I guess no brand can somewhat imitate because everyone's story is different. So you may resonate with this other brand story, you may not resonate with mine, but I have people who resonate with ours. So we could all have our own market and attract people who share the same mindset. And same energy.
Yeah. So, I mean, coming off from that tangent, you said that, you want to build a brand with soul and you need to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But a lot of Cap City is Nigel.
Yeah.
Does the buck stop with Nigel? If Nigel today no longer is around, all right? And I put that hypothetically, right? Do you think your team is able to continue on with what you've built so far? Or in the near future, let's say you do want to retire, how do you think that would transition? I know it's a bit far off, right? But Nigel is Cap City is Nigel. Is there a plan to disassociate somewhere down the road?
Not anytime soon. I've had this discussion many times with the team and even with, I guess, entrepreneurs. Like, what do you feel about attaching yourself too closely with the brand? And so far, what I've learned that is it's not good only if you're not a great person.
Okay.
If you're not a great person, then you drive your brand down. If you're a great person, then I don't see why you should stop. Especially if the person enjoys doing it. So I personally enjoy doing it, so I don't see a reason why I should stop. Does the buck stop? I think that was a good way of questioning it. If Nigel Sparks is not around, maybe not as great, I would say, sure. But same goes to Elon Musk. If today Elon doesn't own Tesla anymore, trust that Tesla will go down. The sales will not be as great. Not many companies such as Apple can have Tim Cook to replace Steve Jobs, but even that they struggled for a while until Tim Cook really found his footing. So I'm also definitely, I guess, nurturing my team to be independent. So if say one day I need to really go, then they can take over lah. But I guess by then I will never know.
Or you could be just...
Or none of my business already.
Yeah, or you could be sipping mojito in some tropical island, right? Let's not put it in the more...
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, I do see that your team is a part of your journey through and through. They are very well featured. They might not have as much dialogue as you do, as a front-facing person, but I think they all have their own personality. In fact, to some extent, I do see that they have their own small fan bases.
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
Yes. So Liang, because Liang has been with me for 10 years now. So he definitely has his own fan base and I'm so happy for him. Some people might come out and be like, oh, I nak jumpa Liang and take photo with him. And I always like when people, either way, right, after they take a photo with me, they say, oh, where's Liang? I need to take a photo with him. I think that's great because he deserves all the love. He's the nicest person you know. He has the kindest heart. And he's so loyal to the brand, to the company, and to me. So, and then Cheche, I mean, Eileen now is also slowly building her, not intentionally, I think, just through the spillover. And I think that's great because, again, I may not be in the shop every day. So my team, Naim, has his own following and be like, okay lah, Nigel's not around, sure, but hey, you're great too. Let's take a photo and we build like that's why we have a Keluarga Cap as a family. So Liang and all will be in the shop. So I always say if I'm not there, don't worry, my spirit's there because they all share the same value as I do. So that's great.
Oh, I feel my hair standing up when you said that. That's a very strong statement. Yeah. I'm glad that whether you know it or not, and I like to talk about, companies building culture. You have a very strong brand culture, whether it is intentional or it is, I would say passive. You've built that, and it's not just permeating through your team, but through your customers as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just want to congratulate you from entrepreneur to entrepreneur that you've done something that is truly amazing and it's out of sincerity. A lot of people do it like, oh, I need to do A, B, C, D, and so on. I'm a little bit like that, but I also understand that, I'm doing it out of sincerity, but I need that formula. You are so natural at that, and it's so rare. It's a rare talent.
Thank you.
Okay, so music, all right? You dress very fashionably, very hip hop style, right? And I also do know that every year, every year, you release a single. And you have songs like DLLM. I can't say what's the abbreviation. After all, I've listened to all the songs,
Right.
and some really do speak out of the struggles as an entrepreneur, as someone growing up, finding their own pace, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you a fashionista first, or are you a singer first? How did that come to be, right? And to the point that you wanted to create your own music, and why a single a year? Why not a bigger, grander plan of releasing an album?
Okay, I'll answer the last question first.
Oh, okay.
Why do I not? I guess why am I not consistent making music lah? First of all, it doesn't. It takes a lot of time for me. That's number one. Number two, I guess every person who ever thought of being a musician would somewhat face the same question, which is, does music fit you or not? Like,
Okay.
does it pay?
Oh, okay.
And I think it doesn't for me yet. So I felt like, okay, music will be purely an escape, a soul feeding hobby for me. So I only released a couple of songs so far. So that's my answer to your last question. And which one come first? I can't pinpoint. I love hip hop as a whole. And hip hop inside there is music, there is DJ, there is rap, there is graffiti, even fashion, including it's a whole lifestyle. So I'm very involved. I'm very interested, I guess simple term is I'm very interested in hip hop, and since at a very young age, because I felt like hip hop music helped me express myself, and I wanted to do that. It's as simple as that, right? You as a consumer, how do you want to be treated, and then you kind of want to produce the same thing so that other people could resonate as
Yeah.
well. So I can't tell you which one came first, but yeah, I've been doing here and there music on and off.
What was your first single?
My first single is actually called Prove 'Em Wrong, which is the tagline for Negative, the brand, Prove 'Em Wrong. So that's my first single. That
What-
was 2012, I think, 2011.
Okay, that's about 13,
Many
14 years
years
ago.
ago. Yeah.
What prompted you to say, hey, look, I want to make music at that time?
I guess the people who inspire me, like people who at that time I was consuming a lot of hip hop music. So of course, obviously, as a kid, you want to do the same lah. When you watch wrestling, you kind of that's why wrestlers and like all these wrestling programs have to tell you, do not try this at home, right?
Yeah.
Because it inspires you to imitate the same thing. So I guess that's the reason lah. I've just been a very hip hop enthusiast lah.
Okay. How does your work in music spill over into Cap City, if it does?
It does. So at one point, I actually thought of like stopping music because I felt like I was beating myself up for not being able to meet the timeline, which is one song a year. But I also tell myself like these are also ways of me expressing myself, right? Whether if it's through caps, t-shirts, products, or even content itself. So I felt like there wasn't a need to do music anymore, and I felt like a lot of people didn't know I was making music even. So, but I decided that this year maybe I should venture back into music. Because I feel like the team somewhat can support the business a little bit more. I have the luxury to somewhat do something that fits the soul, Yeah. I feel like the business itself fits your tummy,
Yeah.
and music is something that I
Please.
want to fit the soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you can, maybe pick one of your songs that you're most emotionally tied to, and maybe tell us a little bit of a story behind it. I'm quite sure every song
Yeah.
has a story to tell. Maybe you can share a little bit about that, because I want to understand you as a person when it comes to writing the song and putting the emotion behind it and putting yourself out to the world. What are some of the, I guess, challenges that you have to face on the internal side of things?
So, because I only have a couple of songs, and my producer said it very well. He said, "Bro, your songs are like your diary. right? 1 year a song at a time lah during that run. It's like a diary. I was really writing based on what I was going through. So what's that one song that is most memorable or attached? It's not very emotional song. It's actually a very uplifting song. It's called Chains. That song, I was going through a lot because I knew I was gonna close my stores. So if you listen to the context of the song Chains, I said freedom is the power to choose your own chains.
Yep.
And I thought that was very profound because it was exactly reflecting what I was going through. I was letting a lot of things chain me down, right? I was wearing a lot of different chains that got me very heavy. Obviously, I said one of the toughest decisions I ever made was to close my stores. So I had to break the chains, lah, basically. What else?
Did it feel good releasing that single out there after you're done with it?
Yeah, very good. In fact, being able to record it down and seeing people enjoy to it or bop to the music is like, it's a feeling I cannot describe.
Have you ever performed live? Just curious.
Here and there, not
Okay.
not any major big shows.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been to one or two of your parties.
Really?
I've not seen you, perform. I think it'll be a nice touch to adding
Hopefully
on.
in the near future, lah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of the near future, just curious, is there anything that we should be expecting on the music side of things? Is there one coming out this year or?
Yeah, so I actually announced it during our open house, Raya open house, to my fans that I'll be dropping an album this
Oh,
August.
album.
Yeah, straight up album already. Like I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time, and I want to get to do everything I wanted to do as soon as possible.
That
Not-
sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, not rushing it. I still want to keep quality, but yeah.
I mean, that statement, I feel like I'm running out of time. That sounds very, dreary, right?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
I'll go to a very dark place, but no lah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't take every day for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, hey, you wake up, the first thing you say, I'm alive. I think that itself people take for granted.
Yep.
And yeah, I think for me, I know how fast time flies lah.
Yep.
I guess we all know. It's just that we don't remind ourselves enough. So
Do you take time off for yourself? Because again, you did say that this is one part of yourself, but I don't feel that energy coming through today. And I'm not, saying that that's a bad thing. Or we all need our own downtime. But what do you do to take time off work? Because it seems like your work and personal life is, one thing. What do you do to distress, to keep yourself happy, that is non-work related?
I don't take any time off because I enjoy. Like I mentioned earlier during this interview, I said obsession. I think all the greats that you see, anyone that is extremely great, they are not hardworking. I noticed that they are not hardworking, they are obsessed. And that kind of enabled me to embrace my obsession even more. And what happens when you're obsessed is that you don't have to take time off anymore. Like, I'm actually relaxed while I'm at work. And I'm actually not relaxed while I'm not at work.
Yep.
And this is something that I struggle with because most people would tell you, take time off, get away. I'm like, no, I want to. It's not like I have to. I want to be in the business. I want to fully let myself, dive in and be in it without any judgment. I think that was one of also the thing that pivoted my career and the brand's career is that as soon as I stopped judging myself, stopped beating myself that like I need to rest, everything took off. Because I spend lesser time judging myself. And I wish this for everyone. I say this all the time. I wish this for everyone because I see people trying to get away.
Yep.
Why do you need a getaway? The only reason you need a getaway is because you do not enjoy what you're doing. The only reason people enjoy weekend is because they hate weekdays, but they forget the weekdays has 5 days. Why would you not choose to love your 7 days?
Do you think that's coming from a point of privilege? That you and I can say the same thing like this because we are able to control what we do, what we like,
Yeah.
right, and be immersed into it.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Definitely, like I mentioned, I'm very lucky that I didn't want more. I'm very aware that I'm lucky in many ways, but there's also a lot of struggle and pain. Don't forget.
Yep.
When I say we enjoy doing what I'm doing, it's not like I'm happily goyang kaki in the office. I'm editing the video, I'm pushing things, I'm going down taking stocks. We have to deal with no sales days. We have to deal with financial problems. We have to fork out money for staffs to eat first. There are a lot of struggles that come with it. So I feel like don't for a second think that I'm saying it like it's all fun and games and rainbows. I feel like I enjoy struggling.
But this is not for everyone.
Correct. But, okay, say for someone who is maybe less privileged, right? Who works in, say, a Mamang or even a 7-Eleven, even if that's what you think that's not privilege, I feel like everyone needs to find their calling, their purpose. So my purpose was serving others, right? As I mentioned in the earlier
When
interview.
you're working in retail.
Yeah. I enjoyed serving. And when you finally find that you enjoy serving others and you allow yourself to do more of what you enjoy, which is serving others, eventually you become the assistant supervisor, eventually you become the supervisor, eventually you become the store manager, and then the area manager, and then you will eventually find that you are being better every day because you allow yourself, and once you identify what you love doing. It may not have to be a big dream like own businesses. It can be as simple as I love serving others.
Yep.
I love how this customer came back for me. And that's what I had when I was doing internship. Customer came back, where's Nigel? Right? My first off day, I came back. my team said, my staff at the time, I put, hey, yesterday got one guy came and looked for you. Like, huh? Really? Someone looked for me.
Yeah.
You know, it can be as simple, as pure as serving others. It doesn't have to be rich and famous. It doesn't have to be businesses and be a mogul, you know? It just happened that, you know, I run a business. And again, the business that you see today, it all came from me just enjoy serving first.
Yep.
And creating and having the curiosity to serve others. What else can we do to excite our customers? And it's an obsession now.
Yep.
And I feel like, to your question, do I rest? Of course, here and there, but do I take offs? Not really. I think for the recent 3 years, I've not really taken any off. And I don't beat myself for that. A lot of people judge me and say like, oh, you got no life, bro. So sad your life. Every day you have to work. You're telling me you wake up, you work, and then until at night, and you have no weekends. I say, hey, at least I don't have to escape. I don't think about stress. I don't think about... It may be stressful to you only because you don't enjoy what you're doing. So coming back to the bigger picture, I really wish this for everyone that they can find. Even like our dear cameraman, I don't know how much are they obsessed with gears and cameras. Maybe they are enjoying this and they can do this. And they will be better, you know? So it's not about big businesses or, you know, anything.
No, I'm glad you shared
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
The reason why I prompted you towards that direction is because, well, one of our core values at my Burger Lab is to be passionate and dedicated. And that's not to say that, you know, you have to be doing things that you like. Sometimes in life, you don't get to choose your path,
Sure.
right? And those that get to is some level of privilege. But whatever path that you are on, you choose to be passionate and you dedicate your time to it to improve, to be better at it. And what I've seen so far that works is that people who put in that effort to improve their skill set in that particular job or whatever they're doing, they grow, as you said, you know, from a casual worker, they become assistant store manager.
Yeah.
It opens up road. But when you say, you know, I don't like this is just temporary, I'm not gonna give my all, right? I can't wait to get off at 5 o'clock, then you're stuck. You're stuck there for a very long time. Right? Passion is what you decide to dedicate your time to.
Yeah.
Right. So thanks for sharing that. I think it's really great that you're able to share that, because a lot of times youngsters, the way they see it is, this is not where I'm supposed to be at right now. I'm waiting for the next big thing.
Yeah.
But by being passionate about what you're doing right now, that carries forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think bringing back to what I said earlier as well, right? The price of a cap. They can't afford it, and I said you have to work hard for it. It's the same thing. People don't see that there's a price to pay. You know, there's a price to pay. I'm sure their banks are hurting. I'm sure they're tired carrying their stuff. We are tired, but at the end of the day, if you're fulfilled, then now your question is, how can I repeat that process every day so that I can be fulfilled every day? And isn't that the point of living life, to be fulfilled and be happy? Of course, there's going to be painful parts,
Yep.
you know, and times. Before this year, I got so many interviews and things are going well for me. But people call it overnight success, right? But it took me 10 years to reach to this night, bro.
But that's what people see. They see a fraction of time and then they judge you based on what they see now.
Yeah.
Right?
Took me 10 years to get to this so-called overnight
Success.
Yeah.
Now, talking about those people who call you an overnight success, let's call them haters. Let's talk about haters for a bit. I understand that when you put yourself out there, you are open to obviously compliments and positive messages, but at the same time, you will see the darker side of humanity to some extent.
Yep.
People who don't know you, people who just came across you and judge you for who you are, and they can write really nasty things, right?
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with quote unquote haters?
Sometimes I let it affect me, sometimes I don't. I feel like I'm only human. We have emotions. Most of the time, okay, so there's this also saying that you cannot pick and choose. You cannot pick and choose, meaning to say, you cannot say, oh, I want 10 good comments, everyone clap. And then as soon as there's one that says no and bad, right, you're like, oh, he's such a hater. So if you're gonna, what's the saying? If you live by the cheers, you will die by the booze.
I've heard of something like that. I'm
Yeah.
not too familiar with
Yeah,
it.
I think that's where is what I'm trying to say. You cannot just live for the cheers,
Yep.
because then you'll be delusional as well.
Yep.
Right?
Because you're surrounded by yes men, right?
So now, lately, if any videos that go viral, most of the videos, I try not to read the comments. Not even the good ones. So then I'm neutral. I'm just doing what I believe. If the good ones come in, great. If the bad one comes in, too bad, but great. And just move on to the next thing already. You cannot think of it. You cannot dwell there for too long.
Now, that being said, comments on videos. Has
Yeah.
there been ever a situation where you have been pressured to delete
Yes.
content because of what people say?
Just recently
Okay.
in Singapore, I deleted a video, which I seldom do, only because the comments were bashing the fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bashing my fan lah, basically. And really depends, right? Because this one touches religion a little bit. So I'm just gonna say, I didn't like where the comments were going against her. Because if it was me, I can still take it. But if it was bashing my fan, I don't think she's ready for it.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing, you know what? When I uploaded the video, so okay, to give you guys a bit more context, the girl was very excited to see me. It was Payung Jumaat. Everyone was looking for me in Singapore, and when she was the first one to find me, she got a little too excited. So she ran to me. She's like, "Oh my God, where is he? Where is he?" He came and she held my hand. She held my hand. She was jumping, and I was like jumping as well. I was like, okay, calm down, before the rest come over, right? So that part could be my fault that I uploaded it, and everyone bashed her, saying that
She didn't hold herself back.
pull herself back, didn't control herself. And the comments were very ugly. Like, if she can do this, she must be used to it.
Come on.
Because she was looking for a fiancé as well. Her fiancé came. So they were long-time fans. So, again, I don't want to say who's right, who's wrong. I just felt like the comments were too mean to her. Right? I even asked her, I said, hey, are you guys okay with this? Because I uploaded this and this is happening. And they didn't reply me. Okay? Because they were asleep.
Oh, okay.
then for 10 more minutes, right, as I read on the comments, I'm like, okay, you know what? I cannot wait for her approval or what she thinks. I'm gonna delete it. So as soon as I deleted it, the next morning she asked me like, what happened? It's okay, don't worry. We can deal with the comments one. We are okay with it. I said, yeah, but I'm not okay with it. You know, I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't like how people could be so dark of one mistake. Say if she made a mistake, say if it's her wrong. That doesn't give you guys any right to pour such dark emotions into people. I just feel like it's horrible. It's horrible, bro. And I didn't like that for my page. I didn't like everything that I did. And I said, I could have kept that video and I knew it could go viral. I knew it would reach media outlets. I knew it could hit millions. But for what? For the wrong reason. And I know how social media works, right? Anything negative sells. And that itself is very questioning, you know? Like, what is wrong with humans? What is wrong with humans? We're driven with all this bad news. And we as humans have to sometimes question, like, why are we attracted to this? Is it something in us as well that is resonating? We find joy. We find joy in people having scandals and breakup. We find joy when someone gets boycotted. We find joy that, you know, to say our piece, like, oh, he shouldn't have done that because what a mean guy. What does that say about you? It says so much about you when you say such mean things to other people. And I want to believe all religions are great. And we're supposed to be forgiving and guiding people who make mistakes and not like that. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you, and I feel that it is very gracious of you to be able to see that, hey, that was something that you could take charge of and to protect your fan.
Yeah.
And I know that you get some mean comments from time to time, and you are able to take it on your own and say, look, that's not my problem. I choose to ignore it. But when it comes to your fans, you protect them first.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so we're talking about designs, okay? And this is a fairly controversial one as well, with AI being so prevalent these days. Do you use AI tools to create content or in your daily work?
Very little. We should use more.
Okay.
Like, not enough. I feel like we're not using enough.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Not enough in the sense that not like I want it to completely take over and be like, hey, generate me this image and I'll print it on the t-shirt so that my life is easy. But I feel like in many ways it helps. It helps us see things that we might not see. And from there, you might get inspired to do something different. So I think, why not? Yeah.
Good. I think that there is truth to that. It does make our life easier. A lot of times people see it as, oh, it's a replacement of the human art form. You would say that it's more of
I don't think you will ever. I don't think you will ever replace humans, because humans have emotions, right? We see things that I guess AI don't see, and AI see things that we don't see. So I feel like if we could both sit together and try to work together, I think it'll be greater.
Yeah.
If like what we're doing now is great, imagine with AI, maybe it can make it better. But will it replace us? No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So you said that you do believe that you don't use it enough. So what do you think? So what do you think is important to learn in the next phase of your development, you and your team, to benefit your business?
With AI?
Yeah. What part of AI do you think you want to adopt more into what you're doing on a daily basis?
I guess in terms of visuals, content, audio, when we speak about AI, it's so broad. Yeah, we have ChatGPT, we have Midjourney, we have AI that can help us with designs or videos or even voice, languages is definitely something we wanted to explore because a lot of people were like, hey, when will you do Chinese content, right? Because most of my content is either in Malay or English. So my Mandarin is not the best. I can speak Mandarin, but I'm not confident enough to do Mandarin content. So we know of certain AIs that could actually help you translate into Chinese.
And you use your voice as well.
Yeah, it will sound like you. Your mouth will eventually even move like it. So I thought that was amazing. I was like, wow. let's do Tamil too, bro. You know, Satu Malaysia, bro. You know, so that's where I see AI can help us, but it won't replace me.
Yep.
You
It's
know?
still your content.
It's still me.
It's still your genuine.
But imagine even in Spain, in Japanese, and now I'm in every different country. How powerful can that be?
And I
My
believe
God.
that's what Mr. Beast is doing.
Exactly.
He'll create a content and then he'll
Yes.
translate it into different languages.
There's different channels.
Yeah. But that, I think he's still doing it manually at one point. But moving forward, I think AI will be able to just speed up that process.
Yes, 100%.
All right. I think we've had enough conversation over the last 1.5 hours.
Yep.
To wrap up, I'm going to finish up with some more, I guess, fun questions.
Okay.
Now, food. I'm in the food business. So I want to know.
What's my favorite food? Burger Lab. No.
Hey, making me cry a second time, bro. No, but in all honesty, right? If, and just now we went to the direction of if you're no longer around. So if it's your last meal, right? What would you want to have? Malaysian food, Malaysian food. Let's talk about Malaysian food.
What's the last food I would have? Chee Cheong Fan.
Chee Cheong Fan.
Oh, wonton mee also can. Chee Cheong Fan.
Chee Cheong
I
Fan.
like Chee Cheong.
You like the one with curry or without curry? Curry chop.
Mix. A good mix. Yeah,
Okay,
good mix. Yeah.
What are the top 3 toppings that you would have?
Nothing too crazy. Meatball, I don't know, fuchok. Simple lah. I think Chee Cheong Fan, why I like Chee Cheong Fan is because it's so simple. You can even just eat the noodle
On its
with
own.
sauce on its own with sesame around it. I think that's a perfect breakfast.
Okay.
I don't eat that enough. But yeah.
All right, so one more food-related question.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a food brand that you would like to collaborate with, non-Burger Lab, okay, non-Pizza Lab, what would be on your wish list?
Have we spoken about any before? Let me think. Food.
Dasa fried chicken?
Trying to think. Borinos is definitely one. I'm not sure if you've tried it before.
Yeah. I've never tried them, but I've heard of them.
In Sabah. Yeah. I think, I don't know why, I love it. Every time I'm in Sabah, I always find myself in Borinos, and that would be one.
Okay,
That would be a fun one.
I hope to see that come to fruition.
Yeah.
All right. Now, to our audience, which we hope mostly are the younger generation, looking back on your journey, and if you see a mini version of you, right, just graduated out of whether it's college or uni, what is one top advice that you would give that individual starting out in their early career, and maybe even thinking about venturing into a business, whether it's fashion or not? What would be one piece of advice that you would give them?
So we have interns with us, and I find myself every time on the first day of their internship, I will always tell them, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yep.
So no matter how small the task is, do it to your best ability, and trust me, it will change your life. And from there, you will be better lah. And I guess I have a second advice as well. I think this one's better. Like, I think a lot of the young ones don't know what they like. And I think find out what you don't like. That will help you eliminate a lot of things as well from the list. And eventually you'll find what you like.
And that is the perfect closure to our conversation, Nigel. Now, we have reached the end of this episode of Unibicity. Thank you for being with us all the way to the end. And I hope you've learned a thing or two from Nigel himself. Now, if you don't know how to do digital marketing, you can get Unified's business digital marketing solution. Just visit our websites for more information. Please follow our social media accounts and get notified on the next podcast. And with that, Nigel, let's say bye to them. Adios. In case you didn't already know, June is actually SME month. And specifically, 27th of June is SME Day. Now, Unified Business wants to celebrate this special occasion with all the SME owners. But we all need your help. So please go onto your favorite social media channels, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, and write a very nice review for your favorite SME. Do remember to use these hashtags though. So the hashtags are Belanja di SME, Support Local, or Unified Biz Support Local. And you'll be in the running to win a grand prize if you're selected. So hop onto our social media on TikTok and Facebook for more information.